off of something traumatic happening.
Right.
Trauma bonding.
Hey,
What's your take on that?
That'd be a learning experience for all of them. That would be a positive, I would think, if they were open enough, as being just open people to discuss their mishaps. But yeah, that'd be positive, man, to do that.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It only makes sense because can't nobody help them but the ones who went through it. You know what I mean? Like an alcohol anonymous person who talks to them, he was once an alcoholic. You see what I'm saying? Or a drug addict. Yeah.
No, I get that. That's positive. That's positive trauma bonding. I guess what I'm speaking on is more so like people trauma bonding on the negative end. But no, I'm glad you brought that point up because that is very helpful. Like, can't nobody that was an alcoholic, you know, help out somebody that's you know what I'm saying, that's not one. Like, so I get that. It could go in a good way too.
Same thing with if I was going through something, he was going through something, you know. You know, the parents or friends that ain't did it can't say, hey, you should, and you should. And they ain't never did it. You know, they haven't went through it. So, yeah, man, that'll be positive, bro.
What's up, fellas? What we talking about?
Yeah.
To the noble, man. Peace.
Understand that. Yeah, man. We appreciate you, man. We talking about trauma bonding because, you know, nobody chose a topic. So I just kind of threw something out there for us to go ahead and go with. But I appreciate your perspective, my man.
No doubt.
Thank you for joining us, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Definitely. Yep, for sure, man. Peace. Yeah, but we was just touching on trauma bonding, you know, because like I said, nobody came in and said what they wanted to talk about. But I'm glad he came on and said what he said because he brought a positive perspective. I was more so speaking on the negative front of it, like two people just banding together just because they don't like somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff, or getting or being jealous, or being jealous of somebody getting more money or making more moves and trying to team up and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I was more so speaking on that end of it, but I'm glad he said that because it is a positive. It can be a positive thing for people to trauma bond, help them get through what they're getting through, and then go on about your business.
It could be
that could definitely work.
You know, with the trauma bonding, you know, you can just keep being so toxic, complaining about the same shit. A lot of people have those same traumas, and that's what brings them close together. But more times than often, sometimes people grow out. One person may grow out of that trauma. And then that's when, you know, the bond or the relationship is kind of like flat because now, shit, ain't nothing to talk about. All that conversation complaining about, you know, this person, that person, this thing, that thing, now all of a sudden is nothing to talk about because there's one person is getting over the trauma and the other person's probably staying in it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just, it's sad to see, man. I really think on the negative end of it, it's very pathetic to see that type of stuff. Like, who bands together to go against one person? If it ain't a whole team that's trying to be a part of some type of union to make things go right at the job, it's really ridiculous for people to go against somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all fighting for y'all business, something like that. Like, it gotta be. I believe that if people gonna trauma bond, if it's not helpful, it's hurting, you know. And people just need to really wake up and grow up.
Just get the help,
because teaming up with another person,
you know, whatever happened, you go through the motions, you go through the down, the dark side, and then at some point you gotta go see the light, man. If you want to stay in the darkness, man, you gotta do that by yourself because nobody want to be living like that, you know, their whole life. Or just general, you know, it's too much, man.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of life out here. It's a lot of things that, you know, that are positive for you to just keep living in the trauma and just living in the trauma for the sake of the relationship or friendship. That's a no-go, and it's all down for destruction because, like I said, again, at some point, somebody is going to be over their trauma. Somebody going to be stuck. And that person who's stuck, you know, what are they to do?
Absolutely.
Find somebody else who's going through the same bullshit.
Yep. That's all they can do. And it's unfortunate to see that type of stuff, man, because, you know, find something else to do. That's basically what I'm getting at. You know, and to our viewers, thank you for joining us, man. This is Uncomfortable Conversations, and this is going to be our season finale.
Final season of final episode of season 1. Indeed.
Yeah, definitely. And we want to thank everybody that's been coming on, checking us out. You know, every Tuesday at 8. You know, and we'll definitely be back. We just got some things to get in order, and you know, we'll be back popping in no time. So if you want, come in the comments or you can come live, y'all.
Come tap in with us.
Talk about something.
We leaving it up to the people on this last one. We didn't come up with a topic. Yeah. We didn't come up with no material. We just want everybody to, whoever want to chime in and get something off their chest, basically. If you got something you want to say, you had a rough week so far, or rough last week, or you're going through something, you need prayer, come on and tap in with us, man. We don't bite. This is all a family, you know, oriented place, safe zone. You know, we don't judge nobody for, you know, their opinions and how they feel or anything they're going through. So why don't y'all tap in, man?
Yeah. Yeah. Malik said that would be more like drama bonding. You're right, man. That is more like drama bonding, because you just teaming up to keep some bullshit up. Keep the nonsense going, and then it's not going to end well. You know, one thing I've heard consistently throughout these past few years from my aunt is, you go dig in the grave for somebody else, you're gonna fall in it. And I totally believe that. I totally believe that, because see, I don't have no issues with nobody. People have issues with me that they need to, and it's up to them to resolve them, because I'm chilling, you know. So I don't have problems with nobody, and it feels good to be in my latter 30s, not sitting up here saying, yeah, I got beef with this person, I got beef with that person. First of all, by me being knocking on 40 doors, it sounds dumb for me to even be talking like that, bro.
Very,
you know,
sure.
Like, so yeah, I feel sorry for people that still have that mentality of, oh no, it's gonna be like this forever. Like, for what? For what? Life is too short. You living your life for the person you don't like. That's why you wake up and you breathe every day. Like,
much energy, though. You gotta, I mean, you hating somebody or holding a grudge or anything of that nature, man. You don't realize how much energy you burn and how much stress you cause yourself just worrying about another individual instead of just worrying about you. I mean, just focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Focus on what you got.
Let me ask you something, because have you ever had somebody trauma bond over you, or when it came down to you? Yeah, two people or more teaming up just because they don't like you.
Especially in my younger years, you know, I was a bit of a jokester asshole, so a lot of people would, you know, probably, he think he's stuck up, you know, that would be the chicks, or he think he's shit, you know, that would be the guys, but it wouldn't be nothing that I would know of. I may feel it. I may feel a little bit, you know, like, all right, I can tell these two individuals may not like me or whatever, but I never paid no attention, nor did I ever see it. So it probably was. I'm not gonna say it wasn't, but I didn't see the shit.
Right, got you. All right, we about to switch gears, man. For those of y'all that just tapped in, we were just talking about trauma bonding. We was trying to leave it up to the viewers to check, you know, leave some comments and let us know what y'all wanted us to speak on, but nobody said nothing, so we just rolling with it. We off the hit with it today. So I got a question for you, because I heard a few different podcasts this week, and you know, off and on I've been on the internet. I ain't been on there like as of late, but from some of the stuff I've seen, they've been talking about Lori Harvey and making dudes sign a non-disclosure. Now nobody knows if that's true or false, right? But what is your take on that? How do you feel about NDAs in general? Just when it come down to, when it come down to dating, how would you feel about that? Let's say you've seen it. How would you feel about NDAs?
Regular Joe, like that shit.
No. You want celebrity status. Yeah.
Damn, I still think it's kind of whack. I mean, what we disclosing? I mean, or what we got to hide? Everybody know we dated. Everybody know we've been together for however long. So of course, when you're dating somebody, I'm pretty sure there's something going on. You know what I'm saying? So for you to, I don't know. I mean, I guess she's protecting herself. But then again, it's like, what you protecting yourself for? You're just living your life, right? So why you gotta sign these NDAs?
Yeah.
I don't get it. But I mean, to each his own. You know, if she wants to make it to where, you know, you can't talk about her after the fact, you know, I mean, she got something to hide, probably.
Yeah, that's basically what they. It's well, that's what they saying though. They make it. She's making other dudes that she dated sign this non-disclosure because it's more like a you can't talk about me after we're done with each other, and if you do, there's $1 million in fines. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're saying. I don't know it to be true. I don't have any proof. I just want to hear. I just want to hear your take on it.
I heard something like this. We was actually talking about this at work, and me personally, I said the same thing. I just think she just want to cover up her boredom, and that's cool. I mean, you want to cover up.
How can you cover up your whoredom if you've been in the spotlight with multiple people?
Because there's no intimate details. You know what I'm saying? There's no, you know what I'm saying? Michael B. Jordan ain't going on live or going on Instagram or any platform and like, oh yeah, man, she was, you know, giving me that Wop Wop 2000 and all that. No, you know, detailed things that were disclosed in any of, you know, if he ever talked about them. But I mean, it's some sort of cover up. You got to be something because I mean, if you ain't got nothing to hide, why you got to sign these disclosures? Then again, she could be, you know, she could be toxic.
True, that's true too. And she don't want it because she's been so, I guess you could say hush hush. You know, she probably want to keep it that way. She don't speak on the dudes after she done messing with them. So she probably like, nah, let's keep everything on the hush. And with that being the case, I understand it. She's very private. Let me get to this comment real quick. There is no topic. We going off of whatever. We random today because this is the last episode of our of the season. And also we had left it up to the viewers to choose the topic. Nobody said nothing, so we just going with it. Whatever come up is what's gonna come up. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you want us to talk about, if we haven't already talked about it, throw it out there. You know, that's for everybody. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you're gonna come on our live, please make sure your background is quiet and you know you're not in the car riding around or nothing like that. Somewhere where you sitting still, so the signal don't go all crazy. You know, so if you're gonna come on there, just make sure your background is clear, make sure your signal is good. Otherwise, we're gonna have to X you out. Okay, not being rude, just we need people to understand what you're saying, and we need to understand what you're saying so we can respond if need be. But yeah, man, I believe that if I was a celebrity and I had to do an NDA, I just don't have no business messing around with nobody in that light, you know, or in the light like that. I couldn't see myself coming up with a contract saying, hey, you can't take pictures of me, you can't do X, Y, and Z when I'm with you. You basically gotta just act like this is a dream. I can't see myself doing it. That's not realistic. Like for instance, all right, cuz let's just say you were single and you was a celebrity and you had a shot at Rihanna. You gonna tell somebody. Like, come on, man. That just doesn't make any sense. That's not realistic not to just say anything. I mean, you ain't got to go in detail, but you could just be like, man, I used to talk to Rihanna and she was cool peoples or whatever. She just, you know, whatever. That is just, I don't know. I just believe that something like that is kind of weird, especially when you in the spotlight to ask something like that of somebody. And then to put out the threat of suing them if they do say something, that's crazy. But in her case, because of the way that she lives, I get it, and I get it to an extent if that's true. Because if you notice, all the dudes that she's been with, no, she's never came out and spoke on any of them.
No,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't say anything.
So she never came out.
Yeah, be Jordan and
exactly.
Whoever else, you know, who she saying shit.
Future, Puff Son songs. You know what I'm saying? So she never came out and spoke about any of these guys. So I understand it in that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Like Blue Beach just said, have fun, don't say nothing. I get it.
But I'm sure that they talking about her, bro. Like, you can't tell me that these guys who've been with her are not talking about her. They're probably not saying anything publicly.
Right.
Which is understood because, you know, public information, all that, you know, that shit can get twisted around all kind of ways. But I'm sure Diddy, even Michael B. Jordan, I'm pretty sure, man, they talked about her, bro, to somebody.
Yeah. Somebody did. I mean, if regular, average people do it, why wouldn't celebrities do it?
You know, they're the biggest ones who share women anyway. So, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, stop. Like, you can't. I'm not gonna be naive just because she even have that disclosure. I'm not gonna be naive to think that, you know, they're not talking about her at all. Like, that's come on, man.
Right.
Lori Harvey.
Exactly.
Lori Harvey.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Yeah. For the people that's in the comments right now, you know, if you got a topic that you want us to touch on real quick, we will. We about to keep switching gears until this hour is up. So if you want to come on, like I said, make sure your background is clear. We can hear you. Got a bunch of noise going on. Come on with it. Cause Blue Beach just said that's like us. We ain't just talking in public. We keep that shit in the house. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. We do. Most of us do keep it in house. You know. For instance, if we get into it with our significant others, we not telling everybody what we got into it about. We got our select few that we might talk to. We might have our times when we not speaking on nothing. So. Yeah, so I understand that. What kind of things do you want to leave for the next generation? Oh, okay, now that's good. Okay, Simone. Simone just said, what kind of things would you want to leave for the next generation? For me, if I was to leave something for the next generation, I would tell them quite a few things. First of all, be patient. And no matter what it is that you want to do, make sure you find a balance. You don't find a balance, you're going to overdo it, you know? And also, trust your gut. If your gut is telling you, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z, don't listen to the next person. Go with your gut, because I'm telling you, that first instinct means everything. And I can't even tell you how many times that I went against my first thought and I kicked myself in the ass when I didn't go with my first thought. This has happened with a lot of different situations, relationships, jobs, with family, all of that. I didn't go with my gut, and I've been upset about it after the fact. Please, youngins, listen to your gut, all right? And also, when you get in any of these relationships, if you get out of one, do not jump into another one. Focus on you, pour into yourself, relationship, and save your money. I don't care what just came out. You feel like you gotta have it to fit in. It don't matter. It does not matter. Save your money, and that's the game that I would give for the next generation. What about you, cuz?
For the fellas, for the boys, or young men out here, a little bit off of what you said, but I would tell a lot of our young men to focus and stay on your purpose. And I mean this from the moment you turn 18 all the way up until, beyond, until your existence. Stay on your purpose. Don't go out here chasing waterfalls. Meaning, don't go out here chasing these women, these little girls. Because a lot of these little girls ain't about shit anyway, and a lot of them are misguided. just like the boys, but I'm going off on with the men right now.
Right.
Stay in your purpose. You know, if you got any goals, you got any ambitions to, you know, run a business, focus on that, do that. Stay spiritually fed always, and don't get in your own way. You know, try to find out, you know, what are your weaknesses, and not get in your own way when it comes to, you know, doing things in life in general. I would also tell the guys to don't be out here simping and being yes men and being weak. And that's the reason why a lot of, you know, our women in our generation are feeling like, you know, men are weak and men are, you know, the new females and all of that, because we lack the spirituality, the leadership of Christ. We lack that spiritual guidance, that strong forefront to, you know, make us men. And this is God's words, not mine, but it's God, man, and woman, then the children. In that order.
Yeah.
Not mine's, that's his. So with that being said, I think a lot of us lack leadership is because we're not spiritually, you know, woke or spiritually fed enough to actually lead and, you know, in our lives. Girls, I would, for the men also, date with intentions. This is going to go for both, you know, for women too, you know, our young ladies. You know, hold these young boys up to a standard that, you know, you feel is respectable for yourself. Don't, you know, settle for, you know, Pookie and Ray just because he got a Hellcat and some cash, and, you know, he living a fast life and all of that. That ain't doing nothing for you, you know. And also stay in, I would say, know what a woman is and know how to work around or be around when it comes to a relationship. Know what your role is in a relationship. Find out, you know, what his finances are. Find out, you know, how the relationship with him and his mom. And also with boys, find out the relationship with the fathers and his daughters. That might be a scar too. So that would, I would, you know, leave that with them. And also, lastly, just make sure, ladies, that you don't overstep your role. You got a man who's there to lead or there to, you know, be there for you, then let him do that.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything. You know, Simone also added, be a person of integrity. Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
You know, off of what you said too, when you said date for a purpose, I also believe that not even date for a purpose, I'm sorry, the settling aspect. A lot of people are settling because of comfortability. You know, they known the person for a long time, or the person is good with their kids, or they good, they know they got a good head on their shoulders, but also they got money. It ain't just about that stuff. It's like, it's other aspects that people need to feel, men and women. You know, it's not just about what you see on the outside or what they can provide, because some people can provide and can't do nothing else. Some people can provide and not be intimate. Some people can provide and not be able to be emotionally disconnected. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that comes along with people that want somebody that got a bunch of money. They might be into some weird stuff that you're not ready to subject yourself to, or not into it at all. So stop. I totally understand with that whole settling aspect, because a lot of people are going for the wrong thing. And I believe that wrong thing is coming from what they see on social media. I just watched the clip earlier today. All these women saying, would you rather date like in real time, like right now, or date through Instagram? Every woman in that room chose Instagram, instead of just going out and finding a man in a regular way and start dating them and all of that stuff. Like, it'll never go back to how things used to be when we was growing up, because We in the tech world. I do believe that even though technology's made some great advances, it also hurt the dating world to a strong degree, because now everybody's expectations is like ridiculous now.
Super high.
Yeah, everybody's expectations is ridiculous, and now they it's just ridiculous. It's crazy. It's almost like you gotta have a robot, and you gotta be ready. You gotta be already made up, everything, you know. And I just think it's kind of sad, but I'm glad I'm still living in a realistic world. So, and I don't have to deal with that type of stuff.
That's what's
that shit is crazy.
A lot of relationships too.
Yeah, it did. Because
go ahead. What you gonna say? Instagram, and then you got Snapchat and TikTok. That's a bounce. Boom, 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 boom. They checking all of that.
Yeah. And Snapchat.
And a lot of people, I think, with social media, I think a lot of people going through social media depression. What I mean by that is a lot of people look at a lot of other people's lives. You gotta understand, this Facebook, Instagram, this shit ain't fucking real, bro. Everybody want to post these relationship goals and all these philosophy quotes and all that. Everybody want to be a philosopher and a relationship expert. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Everybody can't be that, bro.
And a lot of people have these expectations of what they see on social media, and they trying to compare that to their real life, or if it's not in their real life, then they feel in some sort of way. You know, they depressed and man, I want to be that, I want that, I want that. Well, if you want that, then why don't you work at it?
Right.
You know, a lot of people in these relationships, they don't work together and fixing shit. They want to let the other person just fix it on their own, individually, parallel, instead of working at it together. That's the whole point of a union.
Marriage is work, bro.
It is.
It's work. You don't do it. If you go into work and don't do your damn job, what happens? You might get rolled up first, then you're gonna get fired. Sometimes you might get fired first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna write your ass up. They're gonna give you a written warning. Then the third time is termination or whatever, suspension or whatever they see fit.
Exactly. What's going on, Black?
Black, what up, though?
What up, though, y'all? Man, chilling. I didn't have my background wasn't good after I got out the shower.
Man. You good, man?
I got some kids.
You good, bro? Yeah, we were just talking about you been listening, so you know. Okay. What you got for that, man?
Yeah, I've been listening. I mean, you know how I feel about the social media and the generation period right now. It's pretty much they're at a loss. It's one of the best things that you could ever have. Like, we wish that we'd have had something like this when we were younger and in high school and whatnot, but it's actually a deterrent for people to actually be sociable nowadays, because they can be whatever they want to be on the internet. People got internet beefs. They saying all this stuff. I don't even know half of it. I feel so old when it comes down to certain things. I don't even be knowing what certain things. You know how long it took me to realize what WTF was? Like, come on, man. Like, stupid. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know how to talk now. They don't even teach, they don't even teach cursive anymore in schools and stuff like that. People, most generation that's younger than us, they really can't even hold and be sociable and hold an actual decent conversation, because they so used to having their fingers going and being and saying whatever they can. I barely text, you know what I'm saying? And the only reason I don't do it like that is because I don't, some things that I'll say over a text message, I can't really put my emotion or how I'm really feeling into it. Like, for years, when it first started coming out, I used to always text in caps. I didn't realize that was yelling at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? So really, when it comes down to it, I get it. I get the whole generation with the internet stuff and all of that. But they need to utilize it for something more positive than it's just always being something ignorant. I mean, and that's the the way I look at it. I mean, you know, you got people telling,
I think
give me the
that's
Addy,
dumb.
I'll
That's the
pull
ignorant
up.
way to live.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't live long doing that. You understand what I'm saying? It's shown. I mean, like, we already knew rap was a contact sport, but it ain't supposed to be, you know, you ain't supposed to mess around and be, you know, on the line of death because of what you're doing as far as trying to make your money and provide for your family and doing what you love.
Excuse the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that
Dang.
was up for a minute. Go ahead, though.
Yeah. But I mean, who'd have thought that? You know what I'm saying? It's just so much. It's so much that's crazy to me. You know, I really don't get it. You know, or a lot of stuff. And like I said, I feel old at times, but even when I was younger, man, that stuff was still stupid. I still wasn't doing a lot of this stuff. So it's really just a generation and what they're used to and what's been enabled by society, you know, and whatever, that they feel like it's okay to be this way. And, you know, there ain't no life expectancy there. You can't be playing, but, you know, you might as well be playing Russian roulette every day doing this type of stupid stuff. You know what I mean? But that's my
question.
Go ahead, Chris.
We talking about rap music. You know, you got this new style of music now called drill music. Would it be safe to say that mostly black culture is rap culture?
Right.
And with the trash that's being provided to us, would that make black culture trash?
Oh, man. Well, you got to be politically correct. I'm going to go ahead and be devil's advocate on here or something. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that I call trash, and y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? But this day and age, you being a rapping drug addict is the norm. And it's the norm. So whether we agree with it or not, whether we feel like it's, you know, trash or whatever it may be, it's 15 other million of people that's don't. You know what I'm saying? And that's of all races. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's crazy because we would have never thought, as far as being a true artist, you would have never thought that something would have got to this. When they say history repeats itself, I can't see this being repeated. You know what I'm saying? You know, but at the same time, with the actual lyrics and the good music of what I consider good music, I don't know how it got lost. So you kind of, you know, you got your back to the wall.
The record companies and execs, they, you know, we let them in, pretty much.
Yeah.
We let them
in. We let them take over.
And we've allowed them to capitalize off of us, you know, for so long. And a lot of things that, you know, a lot of people who are signed or brought up, as you see, it's the same style of rap. You know, it's that Pooh Shiesty mask, tight jeans, you know what I'm saying, buns and all kind of money in the videos and just all kind of buffoonery, man, just stupid shit. And now we're in a situation where, you know, drug usage is like at an all-time high in most rap. Promotes.
We ain't talking about weed or
other stuff. That's all I hear about. Perk 30s.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm
perk
like,
this, perk that, lean this,
like
lean that.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. And mostly,
how high can you get?
And mostly how we move throughout history is in the influence of rap music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like what other identity do we have besides rap music? And
that's the problem.
Like what's our, you know, I mean, that's going off into a whole other topic when I asked about our
No, you know what? I was looking at this comment from Miss Pretty. It's on
Uh,
it's on
yeah,
exactly what you're just talking
yeah.
about, like
Miss
what it
Pretty Eye
is.
Scorpio
So
said,
yeah,
"How
go
do
ahead.
y'all feel about the school systems not teaching and talking about Black history anymore, even though they are not teaching the entire truth?" I
Good.
feel like it's all about. No, I'm not. I'm trying to stop saying I feel. I believe it's all by design. Okay, they doing that on purpose because some of these kids under us are really doing their research. They utilizing that phone or that laptop, and they going back and they seeing. Wait a minute, we was on top of the world at one point. What happened? Then they go back. Then they find clips of when Kanye said slavery was a choice. They question all of that stuff now because they got everything in the palm of their hand. So they doing their research. They trying to figure out what the truth is and why are things the way they are right now.
Right.
Like these kids, unfortunately, they grew up with racism. I remember one day, took the kids to skating, and one of the parents told another kid, "Oh no, you can't go tonight. I forgot tonight, nigga night."
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that going on. So obviously racism is being traced, it's being taught, but it ain't stopping. It's gonna keep going, unfortunately, because we just got some people that don't want to change. And when we was on top, they didn't like it, and they keep finding a way to divide us. So I honestly believe that they doing exactly what they've been trying to do for the longest, is keep the truth in the dark, and keep us from joining forces, keep us from sticking together.
I would say good that they're not teaching it, because the only history that they're teaching in Black history is slavery.
Yep, they're not teaching
the real scholars.
Yeah,
teach the people who invented shit. There's a lot of Black people who invented things that don't even get taught in none of these history books. All you're getting is the MLK, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X.
Yep.
Not
Right.
not really even
really
too much
not
of him.
getting too much of
'Cause
Malcolm X, because he was dangerous.
Yeah.
So basically, you getting Rosa Parks and MLK, and that's it.
Yep.
And slavery, which our history is more to that. It's more than just slavery. We had a lot of things going on before that time, and nobody wants to talk about that history. That's the reason why we are in this condition that we are in, is because we don't know who we are, and we don't cherish each other. I think once we find out who we are as Black folks, we'll be able to cherish each other a lot better and treat each other a lot better. And then once we do that, we'll start focusing on trying to gain some sort of economic power.
Yep.
That's where we missing and lacking, man, is that togetherness and finding out who we truly are. And I would rather, as a parent, with the things that I know, things that I research, I would rather teach my kids Black history than the school.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because you have people that's actually part of Black history, like Ben Carson. You get what I'm saying? But how much weight does he hold when he was under Trump? You get what I'm saying? You even have a Herschel Walker. Okay. How much weight does he hold? What he just did. Okay, like it's just like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? I think really when it comes down to it, I agree with the Black history that's being taught in school systems. That curriculum is dead. You know what I mean? I believe that you have to, as a parent, you have to be well-rounded because you have kids, and the cardinal rule is you always want your kids to be better than you. So you have to do the things, even if you're not knowledgeable on certain things. You have things like the Google, you have things like the internet, period, that you can go ahead and find out about stuff. You don't even have to go to the library no more. You could just kind of like look up stuff, anything. Hey Siri, tell me about this, that, and that. Tell me about Nat Turner. Tell me about Marcus Garvey. Huey P. Newton, exactly what he did. You know what I mean? More than just the same old stories that they want to bring back all the time. You know, anytime anything is posted about a lot of these things, it's always made to be that they were
Yep.
complete and utter assholes, and they just didn't care about nothing, and it was their way or no way. If you think about all of the strong figures of Black history, and then hell, I've even went into some schools,
Yeah.
and it's a white person teaching Black history.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm
It's just like that. It's just
But
like
hey,
that scene
I
from How
studied
High.
in
It's just like that scene
African-American
from How High. The white man teaching Black History Month. Ain't that about a bitch? Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Right.
Right.
Who wanna? You know. But it's. I think that's something that is definitely overlooked nowadays when it comes down to the actual Black history and the family and religion. I feel like, yes, I was brought up Christian Pentecostal, and I'm still a Christian. Honestly, that's what I am. Now, do I still believe in the higher power as far as God? Yes, I do, without a doubt. My grandfather was a pastor, but I'm not going to force anything upon my kids other than the right teachings. You get what I'm saying? I want them to be able to make a conscientious decision once they get older, but they're going to know about the Bible, the Quran, King James version, New and Old Testament, all of that type of stuff, because I want you to be knowledgeable. So that way you can make a clear decision on how you're going about stuff. Because there's so many things that's force fed to people. And I know as a kid, I didn't want to be force fed going to church. First thing I did when I got of age and I got out the house is I stopped going. You see what I'm saying? Because I was 3-4 days a week. And it's like, nah, man, why I got to be up in here? I don't want to go to Bible study. I know everything I need to know right now. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm the top of my Bible study class. Like, what you talking about? Like, I'm straight. I got to go 3-4 times. Choir rehearsal. Prayer.
Bible study.
Midnight prayer. Watch night service for New Year's. Oh, yeah. You see,
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, bro.
You know, and that automatically, that's just like any kid. You know what I'm saying? You get forced a lot to do something. You're gonna automatically rebel. You know, when you hold your kids inside the home and you shelter them so much, as soon as they get on their own, they go out and they act a damn fool.
They get.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we just, all of that together, it just makes me to a point where I have to look at it like, okay, the do's and the don'ts. Now, it's a lot of teachings that I got that still stick with me to this day. But when it comes down to stuff like that, I got to X that out. That's a process of elimination. There's no guidebook to being a parent. You understand what I'm saying? You just got to do the things and still make it to a point where they, are respectful of others, and they're going to be useful damn Social Security numbers, man. Like, for real. That's what it boils down to. Black history is going to be what it's going to be, but it's going to be actually what you teach.
No,
and it doesn't always need to be about the negative. All of these, Black history is all of these, Black folks getting killed by cops.
That's exactly what it is now.
That's a hell of a dash, but that's Black history. You see what I'm saying? You don't hear about that with no white folks. Jewish, Indian, Arabic, anything.
So
all
Black folks. Because it happens. If you look at the statistics, it happens a lot to white folks too. But the thing is, it's like an agenda to show us or let us or see us being murdered by police. And I think it's a fear tactic. I think it's a tactic for the elites to make us fear them in a sense where, we got to respect the cops. We got to be nice. We got to do this because if we don't, we will get killed. So it's like a psychological thing. Because it happens to them too. When white folks be getting fucked up, we just don't see it.
They just don't broadcast.
It ain't
like that.
Broadcast because that ain't the agenda. That ain't the promotion. Why would they want to promote white folks getting killed? Because honestly, to be real with you, they don't really give a fuck about their own people like that.
Nah. They play.
The
They be,
Italians don't give a fuck about them Irish people like that.
no, they don't.
Them Jewish motherfuckers don't give a fuck about probably neither one of them. So they be.
Yeah.
We don't see it. We don't see the devil's plan.
Yep.
We don't see what they got going on, but they damn show us being fucked up.
Yeah. They keep us down. It's like our race could be messed up, but they worse because everything get publicized with them. With us, everything get publicized with us.
Cause they control the media. They control this shit we own. They control every fucking thing. You know all this shit.
And that's what Kanye was trying to. That's what Kanye was trying to say. He just say too much, and he'll say some good shit, and you gotta like read between the lines because the other stuff be dipped in stupid. You know what I'm saying? Or he just misinformed. But there you go.
He's so smart.
Yeah.
Kanye don't read. That's his problem. You don't read. That's two things that makes me mad with Kanye. He don't read, so he's always misinformed and he just spewing shit. And two, you really don't know which side he's on.
Yeah.
Like one moment you all pro-black and it's black this, black that, we the true Israelites, yada yada. And the next thing you trying to get approval from the people that don't want really or was tearing you down.
Well, that's one thing. The other thing is with him is that he likes to portray like you don't know what side he's on. Okay. But the thing is that he's really just a person that likes to be right about everything. It's a very narcissist type of mentality that he has. You know, now he's very smart, but he's smart enough to play the game the way it is. He learned the way of all publicity is good publicity.
And he learned it early.
Okay. And he learned it very early. Now, you can spew out all of this other stuff. Oh, my father was part of the Black Panthers. My mom was, had her doctorate and all of this other type of stuff. But what are you? You know what I'm saying? Right. That doesn't make you automatically smart or you're so in tune with everything. You could be just as damn dumb as Bob the damn drunk at the liquor store. But just because you got money don't make you real. You understand what I'm saying? It just makes it where you got more of a platform and more people that's going to listen to your dumb shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's all it is. He's a very, very big narcissist. But like I said, it is some things that he says, and I honestly think that is a mental problem. It's some things that he say that it's like he can't get his whole point across too. When he's when he's about to make a good point, you be like, come on with it.
He bounces.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
have y'all heard it's a new interview he got out with Whack 100. It's 2 parts.
Oh God.
The first hour he was spitting some real shit and the live got chopped because he said something that was key. And then they brought it back, and then he kept spewing. But every time I was listening to him, he doesn't finish a thought. He'll start it off and then he'll bounce to something else, and then it'll bounce to something else and bounce to something else. And he just keep bouncing all around, and then you gotta decipher what the hell he talking about. So that's my only gripe with dude. Like I just wish he would read more, be a little bit more on cue as far as like what's really going on, and stop sounding so crazy. Like talking about you love Hitler and all this shit. Like come on.
Hey, let me ask y'all something, man. We about to get ready to close out. What do y'all think will end racism?
That's gonna take about 5 seconds.
Just give me a quick summary. What do you believe will happen? How do you believe it could happen?
It starts at home. If kids play together all the time, you know what I mean? You think about it. Kids have to be taught racist stuff. See the rainbow play together. But unless the parents have told them different, they all just looking at them like, hey, that's my friends. We play together. So I always say, for the most
Okay.
part, for things like that.
Lo, what about you?
Mostly a home taught thing. I mean, as much as you were taught racism, to be racist, you can be untaught it.
Yeah.
You unteach that shit and denounce it and say, nah, that really ain't my lifestyle. But it definitely starts from the home. And it starts with us to start to, I guess, show ourselves in a different light. I think that will help. I think a lot of these other ethnicities, they disrespect us and they do what they do is because we don't give a fuck about ourselves. So that just makes it easier for them to not give a fuck about us and be racist.
Gotcha.
So it definitely starts at home. I agree with you, Black. Sure.
Not only does it start at home though, because obviously it could start at home and still get taught outside of the house. I believe that once everybody gets put in a position to where we all got to work together, that's gonna really kill racism. Honestly, like I was talking to this dude, he was in the military. He said he worked with a bunch of different people, different races and everything. Asian friend, Spanish friend, black friend. He said he never understood racism, and I said that's probably what's gonna kill it. Everybody got to get put in a position where they got to work together, and when you got to work together, you don't see color.
No, you got to depend on your life. In situation, it's like these guys got my back.
Yeah,
if they don't,
I get that, but that's what I'm saying. We all gotta. I think it's gonna stem from us having to work together in general, not just I was just using the military shit as an example because he had to work with these guys. He had to train with these guys. He had to wake up with them. He couldn't just leave nobody behind, even if they woke up late. Hey, you gotta wake them up. We gotta be everybody gotta have that we on the same side mentality or on the same team. You know what I'm saying? And I think once it gets to a point like that, that'll probably kill racism, man. I don't know if we're gonna be alive to see it, but I believe that's where it can start from. Because you could definitely unteach racism. I worked with a guy when I was at the plant, and he said that he grew up racist. It took him to work with the black people to unlearn that bullshit before he got beat up. You know what I'm saying? So
I bet you he grew up in a place where there was no black folks.
Yeah.
Predominantly all white, small town country, never was taught black history, none of that, right? And then all they see is what they see on social media in the palm of their hand, or TV. Or on TV. What's perpetrated on TV and what's on that, the palm of their hand is all the information that they need to feel how they feel about another, group of people.
Yep.
There's a preconceived notion of negativity.
Yeah, man. Well, everybody, thank y'all for tapping in, man. We about to get ready to get up off of here. But this right here, this was cool. I'm glad we ended up working everything out, even without people choosing the topic.
Right.
So, we gonna post a vid, but what we're gonna do is, before we come back next year, we gonna have this in clips. Once we get offline, this is about to go straight to YouTube, and then the clip's gonna get posted. So if you missed it, you're gonna have to check it out on YouTube after we done. So we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Hey, every Tuesday at 8, man, it's been dope. We had ups and downs, but hey, it's been working out. We've been going at it for over a year. So we coming back. We got some things to get in order, and everything gonna be smooth once we come back, man. So we appreciate y'all.
I appreciate
Peace.